This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, here we are. We're ready to begin on our Alaskan adventure. And everybody wants to know, what are we doing here? Which tzaddikim are buried here? Which kvarim are we visiting? This trip is not about visiting kivrei tzaddikim. First and foremost, you're going to see there are many halachos that are relevant and will come up and will become alive to you just being here in Alaska. The first is a very interesting issue regarding the international dateline. You say, what does international dateline have to do with Alaska? International dateline is an issue for Japan or Hawaii. So let's just sum up the famous machlokes Chazon Ish, Rabbi Yechiel, Michel, Kaczynski. According to Chazon Ish, international dateline is exactly 90 degrees east of Yerushalayim at 125.2 east longitude. That cuts through Russia, Philippines, Indonesia, and Australia. And according to the Chazon Ish, it does not have any bearing on Alaska. Alaska is completely east of the international dateline. The Chazon Ish interestingly holds that even though the line dissects Australia, he has a chiddush that the east part of Australia gets schlepped to the west through a process called Gerera, that the land mass on the east is schlepped to the west. However, let's say New Zealand or Japan or Hawaii is going to be, according to the Chazon Ish, on the east side of the line. Rabbi Yechiel Michel Kaczynski interestingly holds that the international dateline cuts through Alaska at exactly opposite the line that cuts through Yerushalayim. It's exactly opposite the line of Yerushalayim. And in that case, it does cut through Alaska. So Juneau would be on the east side, and the rest of the continent of Alaska, the rest of the state would be on the west side. That means when you hit the line, Sunday becomes Monday, Friday becomes Shabbos. You see, the Aleutian Islands are definitely on the west side of the dateline. You definitely hit the dateline before you get to Aleutian Islands. The line that cuts through Alaska, so you say, well, why don't we use the same lumdus of Gerera as the Chazon Ish, namely, why don't we schlep the rest of Alaska to the east side, to the mainland of Canada and the United States? Rabbi Yechiel Michel Kaczynski is masupik, whether in his dateline you say Gerera. The bottom line is, and I want to thank my dear friend Reb David Haber of the Star K, who shared with me the map that he made, and he explained to me a lot of these halachas. Rabbi Yechiel Michel is masupik about whether you say Gerera on the mainland of Alaska. So the first relevant halacha that I want to share with the Olam is that according to Rabbi Yechiel Michel Kaczynski, where the line cuts through Alaska, and we're flying out on Sunday, but as soon as you hit that line, it becomes Monday. So wait a second. I daven Shachris on Sunday. I didn't daven Shachris on Monday. I didn't daven on Monday yet. So regarding Tefillah, we're not going to be so machmer within the shita of Rabbi Yechiel Michel, because first of all, according to the Chazon Ish, it's definitely Sunday. And even according to Rabbi Yechiel Michel Kaczynski, it could be you say Gerera and it's still Sunday. And Tefillah is basically a D'Rabbanan. And even according to the Rambam as D'Oraisa, we're going to be davening a Tefillah, we're going to be davening Mincha here. So you're still Yotzei Tefillah. But the Shaila now is, what about Tefillin? Tefillin is a D'Oraisa. Should one be machmir and put on tefillin again when we land? So we flew out on Sunday. We arrived here Sunday evening. In Alaska, it's considered Sunday evening, but halachically, according to Rabbi Yechiel Michel, it might be Monday. So yes, indeed, it would be worthwhile. It would be l'chatchila. It would be a davar hagun to indeed put on tefillin again, in deference to the view of Rabbi Yechiel Michel Kaczynski that you hit the date line going from New York to Anchorage, and this day, Monday, you didn't yet put on tefillin. So indeed, it would be a proper thing to put on tefillin. So people want to know, well, how could you make a bracha? It's still a suffix bracha. No, it's not a suffix bracha. Any day you choose to put on tefillin a second time, you would make another bracha later on in the day. So this is for sure one. It would be proper to put on tefillin again, and indeed make another bracha. So that's the first interesting halacha that arises coming here to Alaska.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.